to Career UpRising. I'm your host and professional career coach, Lorraine Rise. Join me as I guide you through an amazing journey of self-discovery and empowerment. If you are looking for work, changing careers, or stuck in a toxic job, then this is the show for you. I offer both practical and spiritual guidance to help you up-level and advance your career. Let's start the uprising. Hey everyone, you are listening to episode 125, Finding Work After 50 with Brian McMullen. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the show. I am just so excited today. I always say that I have an exciting show because I always think I do, but it is my absolute favorite when I get to bring my clients onto the show. So I'm going to introduce somebody special in just a moment. But first, I want to have you guys please take a moment to give the show a rating and review. However you like to listen, Apple Podcasts is probably the biggest way. I appreciate it very, very much. The show is growing. It's gaining a lot of international attention. I've been contacted for a lot of media opportunities and things. It's just really exciting. The word is getting out there, and I have you guys to thank. So please continue to rate and review the show and share it with other people. And there's just a lot going on at Career UpRising right now. Just this week, I had 2 clients get job offers. It was one right after the other, I think Monday and Tuesday. So that was really exciting to have 2 successes right in a row. And both of them later career job seekers, just like most of my clients are. So that's even more gratifying. But it was a good week here at Career UpRising. So I also just want to make a quick mention. Some of you who follow me on LinkedIn and in my emails might have seen that I launched a new monthly membership program that is completely different than anything I have ever offered. It's a very, very low cost monthly subscription. So it's not really a one-time investment. It's a low cost month to month subscription where you can still get help directly from me with both group calls and one-on-one calls. There's 2 tiers to the program, but this came about because I was approached by a new startup called Subkit, Subkit. It's a brand new platform that launches subscription membership type programs. So I took the opportunity to partner with them and launch this. So if you go to, it's not my website, it's Subkit, subkit.com/Career UpRising. You can read about the 2 tiers of programs that I have. One involves a lot of digital content, newsletters and tips, group coaching. The other one has all of that, but then also one-on-one coaching with me monthly. So it's very affordable. It's all less than $200 a month, probably less than most people's car payments, who knows, but it's very, very easy. So I hope you will learn about that, take advantage of that. It's new and exciting. But let's get in today's show. Today's not about me at all. Today is about celebrating client success and hearing stories from clients who have gone through their own transition so they can motivate and inspire you. And you can see that these results are real. These are real people getting real results in their careers and doing the work, putting in the time. And I want you to see what that can get you. So in a minute, I'm going to bring on my friend Brian. Brian's actually been a family friend of mine for a number of years, and he lives right here, pretty much in the same town I do, just a couple minutes away. He is a wonderful and active member of our community. He's been a volunteer with the Tree of Life organization for many, many years. And I just had the pleasure of coaching with him last year in 2021. He did the career transformation program when he was going through a transition of his own. And I want him to share his story. So I'm going to bring him on and let him talk about his journey and his career in a way that only he can. So thank you for being here. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Thanks, Lorraine. Very happy to be here with you and take care of this today. This is an awesome experience, and I'm glad to share it with your listeners.
Yeah, thank you for being here as well. I really enjoyed working with you, and you embody a lot of characteristics that my clients have. Just the career level and the stage that you're at in your career. I think a lot of people can relate to. So, if you don't mind, let's just start out with: can you tell the listeners a little bit more about your situation when you first came to work with me? What was happening in your career, and what prompted you to want to get some help?
Sure, can do that. Yeah, I've had a long career. Started as a software engineer back in 1992 after college, and spent many years doing that. And through career attrition and affiliations and moving up the ladder, managed into leadership roles and then to project management and scrum master roles. After spending about 12 years at that type of a role, I just decided I really need to get back to what made me happy in this career field to begin with. And started talking with my manager at the time, Melanie Sullivan, and through her coaching, transitioned me back into a DevOps quality assurance test engineering role. And from there, ended up in a position where Fannie Mae decided to go ahead and let me roll off. So I landed in this career transition mode, looking to find another opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember you called me right when all that layoff and that separation was happening, and you were kind of trying to figure out what was your next move going to be. And you and I had made a connection years prior. I think you had kind of been in my network and kind of following things for a while. And I think that it was just that the time was right for you to kind of take this next step. Yeah.
I'm a coffee addict. And so thankfully one of your cards in the past had been there at the coffee shop, and I gave you a ring then, but, really wasn't jumping at the opportunity to look at a transition at that time, but reflected on it again when I ended up in a situation where I really needed it. So.
Yes. I have to tell you, my mom and dad are real good. They're my biggest fans. They put my business cards out at coffee shops all over the town. So that's awesome. I love that. That's kind of how it all started. Something so simple.
Exactly. And we didn't figure that out until after the fact that we connected for this coaching session that your dad was one of my coffee buddies. So
yes, we didn't know that. I love that. So, and he continued to check in and ask me, how's Brian doing? So I think that's so cool that you were just kind of, found your way into my atmosphere there in a couple of different ways. So it was a kind of a full circle moment. I think it was meant to be. It was wonderful. But you said
I like those moments, and reminds me to tell everybody it's a small world.
Yes, it is. Well, you said one thing a minute ago that I want to touch on really quick. You said you wanted to get back to what made you happy. And I feel like for a lot of people who get to, 40, 50 years old, they've had a career, so to speak, already. That's such a common thing that I hear, that, what served us or what worked for us at one point is not always what works for us going forward. Sometimes we get to this stage where we're 45, 50, 55, and we stop and think, what do I want to do for the last 10 to 15 years of my career? Is it the same thing I did before? I just hear that from a lot of clients, and I think that's one reason why I work with so many people at that stage. So I'm just curious what your thoughts on that are. Did you feel like you needed something different, or maybe what worked in the past wouldn't work in the future? What was kind of going through your mind in terms of that stage in your career and how it might be different than it was in the past?
I think for me, it was just in the position and the culture of the company that I was with. I felt pigeonholed into not being able to be my full self and bring everything that I could offer to the table. For the role I was in, I was expected to do things that I was also good at, but just didn't fulfill me, and felt like I could contribute in other ways that I just wasn't allowed to in the role I was in. So transitioning back into the technical roles where I felt comfortable in doing software delivery, testing, was what I wanted to do.
Perfect. And what did you feel like was the most challenging part of the job search, and how did you overcome it?
Well, anybody that's in the technology industry can attest to how fast it's changing. And having spent 12 years not really deep into it and hands-on, my biggest challenge was just getting fluidity again. It's not exactly like riding a bike. And I guess even then, as riding a bike, you get to the point where you're not as flexible or not as agile. And you lose the ability to maintain your balance and speed. And so that was the biggest challenge for me, was just getting reintroduced into specific languages and coding practices so that I could get through some tech checks. The industry and the interviewing process has changed dramatically as well. So that was the biggest hurdle for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that that's something that people, like you said, in tech struggle with constantly, no matter who they are or how old they are. But for you too, particularly, a lot of my clients are at that 50, sometimes 60 plus stage, somewhere in there. And one concern I hear a lot is the age factor. Am I too old? Are people going to want to hire me? I'm just curious, was that a factor for you or not? What was kind of going through your mind with that? Did you see it as a barrier? Did you feel like it was something you had to overcome or not really?
I think it was maybe a minor concern for me, just in terms of the career transition and at this stage of life. I'm in my early 50s, so, I'm not knocking down retirement story yet because I'm afraid that's going to be a few more years out. But for me, the biggest part was really, can I get back into the technical grooves that I was in or need to be in? So that was the bigger concern for me.
Good.
But age was, age was a little bit of a factor, but yeah, that's okay.
No, it is okay. Absolutely. And that's perfect, because what I tell people is that is it a factor? Yes. But can we do a whole lot about it? No, we have to keep going. We have to keep applying and just keep being you.
I can't go back in that time machine and reverse a few years.
Yes,
maybe a little Botox and some dye in the hair, but I think I would have gotten ridiculed by my family if I did some of that.
Exactly. I like your sense of humor about it. And that's something that we have to have, right? We are who we are. It is what it is. We just have to keep moving forward towards our goals. No Botox needed.
No.
Yeah, that's good.
Just keep on smiling.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you feel like was the most helpful for you in terms of, going through a program, working with a coach? Why did you want to get help, actually? Why not go through this alone? What was it that kind of prompted you to want to get help, and what were you looking for help with?
Sadly, we did this through COVID. So it was very tough to network and get connected or even go on job fairs or job interviews. Everything was remote and networking virtually. So for me, I was looking for a career coach and a mentor that I could actually meet personally with and face-to-face. Fannie Mae did offer a service, but it was all remote. And for me, that just wasn't quite enough. So connected with you and got going. The biggest aid for me was just in that encouragement that the process would work, and just keep picking it up day by day. And the other aid was just the networking techniques and some different ideas and thoughts that you gave me in terms of how to find different places to plug in. So those were all the helpful techniques that I had. Just a networking trend and just encouraging me that, keep plugging at it, keep doing what you need to do. What's your next step?
Yeah, I think for a lot of people, just having someone partner with them and getting feedback in the search is really helpful, because it's hard as a job seeker. You don't get a lot of feedback other than thanks, but no thanks, emails and things, but you don't necessarily know, why am I being rejected? What am I doing wrong? What should I do differently? So having someone there to talk through things and offer you strategies, a lot of clients tell me it's very helpful, just because they're not kind of floating alone on an island applying for jobs and not knowing what's not working. Yeah. Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about your new job. I assume things are going well. You've been settled in, I think, for a couple of months. So tell us a little more just about the outcome.
Yeah, so one of the things that we discovered, right, about me through our sessions was that I was looking for a culture where it was a little bit more dynamic and fluid, and that nobody would be defined by, job title or position. So where I've ended up is a small firm, Frenetics, up in Frederick, Maryland. The work is actually primarily remote, but I'm in a release engineering quality assurance role, where I get to do a lot of the work I was starting to learn on test automation and in Jenkins pipeline delivery. And also, I'm experiencing all kinds of other things, but it's a small enough firm that we're not all doing the same thing, in terms of processing widgets day by day.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yep.
Very good. Very good. Well, you started to touch a little bit on my last question, but maybe we can elaborate a little bit more. I always like to ask clients, what did you learn about yourself through this process? Because it's almost inevitable. We're going to learn something about ourselves when we go through any kind of a life or career transition. What came out of this for you? What did you learn about yourself?
Yeah, that is the toughest one. What do you really learn about yourself, and what do you even know yourself? For me, it's what I was really going to look for in terms of the cultural fit for the company or an employer, and how I needed to look for a challenge that's going to offer me a variety of opportunities day by day. And I think we've been successful at finding that, so it's been good.
Wonderful. So what advice would you give to somebody out there? So if there's somebody out there now in a similar position, maybe they're around 50 years old and they need to make a transition, what advice would you give to them in starting their job search?
Well, I would certainly say that, finding a good career coach or even somebody that will listen to you and resonate with your ideas and concepts about what you're looking for in the next career opportunity for yourself is really key. That was what helped me, just kind of bouncing the ideas off with you and looking for the ideas of how to connect, because there's tons of opportunities out there and there's a ton of variety. That's what makes the world go round.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's important to have that mindset, right? To view it as there is opportunity out there, because a lot of people have more of a limited or lack mindset that, there's not enough to go around, but there is. The truth is it's an abundant world, and there is enough opportunity, and there is a place for every person out there. I firmly believe everyone is employable somewhere. Absolutely. There's a right opportunity for someone, and that's a mindset, really, that you have to have. So
exactly.
Wonderful. Well, I really appreciate you. I know you're a busy guy here and you're taking time out of your workday to do this.
No worries.
On your lunch break, but it's great just to talk to you. Yeah. Yeah. Who knew you would do a radio show on your lunch break?
Well, I didn't go into this thinking it would be happening, but that's cool.
No, it is. It is. Yes. Well, thank you so much. I loved working with you. I'm so happy for you and for your success and for your willingness to come on and share it as an inspiration to other people, because there are many other people out there listening who are in the same situation as you. So thank you so much for being here today.
And I thank you, Lorraine. It's been a pleasure, and I appreciate your efforts and your guidance through this whole process. It was great.
Oh, thank you. We'll have to catch up at one of those coffee shops soon.
All right.
And connect. Awesome.
All right.
Sounds good. Well, and thank you to my listeners as well. So for more shows like this, just go to my website. They're all there, careeruprising.com/podcast. I have, I think we're up to 125 today, and there's more coming in the month of July and August. So take care, guys, and I will be back in 2 weeks with a new episode. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please consider giving the show a positive review on iTunes. It would mean a lot to me, and it would help to spread the word so that others can learn about the show. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to connect with you again next time on Career Uprising.
This show is brought to you by InflowRadio.com, the best curated talk radio network for personal development, wellness, spirituality, and conscious business.